of Taekwondo was adopted by the committee composed historian and the general were the chairman of this terminology committee. And the name of Taekwondo was adopted, given on April 11, 1955. We celebrate this year 50th anniversary of Taekwondo. It's a very short form. If we calculate, we compare our history of our martial arts compared with many other things, we are the new. But what is interesting is we evaluate. The general start to talk about the sideway. I think Grandmaster Van Binh was there when he came to Saigon in 1968. But nobody understands. And he started to teach. I saw the Korean team did the sideway, but that time up, down. Okay, was 1974, the first World Championship in Montreal. He continued to make the research. I was lucky the year of 1986 up to 88. I was lecturers in the University Laval on the physical education department. We had some funding from the government available. So the general come to Quebec, and that time we had some thesis for the master and PhD degree on the Trieu power. We measure different way to make the movement. And from that, we well clear that if you want to gain the speed, start with the relaxation first. So you may know what the general calls secret of training Taekwondo. I think there are 8 points there. And lightly bend arm and leg. This is the first thing that introduce the side way. If you contract like that, it's very hard to develop speed. So every movement in Taekwondo, we start with relax. The relaxation is not another movement, it's just naturally. Okay. So the ITF system, starting since 1945, Taekwondo Dojo, 55 the name. 1966, there are different countries practice Taekwondo because the Dojo travel. In 1966, 9 countries, okay, was there for the form of the ITF. So our federation is the first, the original one, govern the Taekwondo internationally. The WTF only formed in 1973 because some conflict about the philosophy of development. We continue, the judo moved to Canada, 72, and after that to Vienna. So the next step we see in 1989, he's starting to thinking to all the up, we go down and up, down. The last part of his life, I remember the year 1998 until 2000, he modified the last book condemned 1999. He is the last update. Okay. So what I try to tell you is, some people practice Taekwondo in the past. They say, well, you do Chonji and Dangun. Of course we do Chonji and Dangun. But the way we do are different. And that's good. Why that's good? Because this is a science. 50 years ago, we have the first engine for the car. Now we have Formula One and everything. So that's the way. We need to open for changing. But we need to make sure what we're doing. So first, please remember, ITF system is the science. Progress with time, with research, and with experience. Now, the ITF system, when you train, you cannot select one, but you need always to train complete the circle. You start with the fundamental movements. The general said you have more than 3,000. So your encyclopedia, you have 2 volumes on the hand and 1 volume on the foot technique. So fundamental movement is the scientific use of your body into rational, effective movement. So by training movement, you combine with the stances, so you doing with good balance. That's important. Normally, you do, when you learn the new movement, you do as one spot standing, and after that, you move, okay? After the fundamental movement, because we do without opponent back and forth, so the general develop, we call that the pattern. We have the 2 pattern prepared, Chajuchugi and Chajumaki. Only allow us to make sure the beginner can have enough time to do the correct first pattern named Chonje. And after that, we go 1 pattern per grade, and from the first degree we have 3, and on the 5th, go to 6, we have 2, and 1 for the 6 to the 7, so we have 24. On Sunday, I will talk to you about the meaning, about philosophy, why 24 and not 22 and so on. But even 24, the general take time. He didn't go with 24 right away. He started from 20 and go up 20 up to 24. He completed his system around 1968. Okay? So, important, remember, fundamental, pattern. Pattern is you learning the spirit of sparring. So that's why you move, that's why you combine blocking, attacking, different step moving, different motion, 6 motion, normal, speed, so and so. So that is application of theory of power, spirit of free sparring. That is the main purposes of pattern. Now we say we need to have some more practical exercise, so the Jiro introduced step sparring, 3, 2, 1, and model sparring. 3-step sparring meaning application of the movement. For example, when you block, okay, so make sure you do it the correct blocking tool. That's very important. Some people, for example, they block with that and the contact is here. That means the person doesn't understand. This is correct because this is the blocking tool. But you open here, then should be here then. So, distance control by doing good stances, good measure, application, checking, effectiveness of attack and blocking. And we introduced later on 2-step sparring. You know, the preparation already different. Why? Because we introduced through 2-step sparring the spirit of free sparring, combination. 1 hand, foot, 1 foot, hand, and combination. Second, the 2-step sparring, we allow more freedom. You don't need to make measure, but you need to have very good precision and good distance control. And we introduce 1-step sparring. I want to tell you is many people misunderstand 1-step sparring. Okay, 1-step sparring, the Jiro explained clearly in the last 4 years. when he was alive. One-step sparring, the main objective is practice spontaneity, reaction. So one-step sparring, I should not tell my opponent what I'm doing. I can attack like that, I can attack like that, any. So this, for me, is the good preparation of self-defense. Okay? So many people do up, I do like that punch, and no. Okay. The exercise that you can do with some warning notice is the modern sparring. Modern sparring, you always attack with punch, that's it. And the other do different combination. 3, 2, and 1 step are for technical practice. That means technical person. Modern sparring is demonstration for the public. They don't know, but they see spectacular technique. So that please understand, very important to do it correctly, because with that you to progress. So with all the luggage and experience technique, fundamental pattern and on-step sparring, we introduce the system of free sparring. Free sparring still for me is the sport approach, because we care about the safety of our participants. So we limited the target area. You cannot attack in the back, low part, some dangerous technique. When you fall down, you cannot continue. So we introduced the point system to allow you to evaluate your progress and allow us also to have the tournament system. Free sparring, for me, the most important, you have to understand, I evaluate the free sparring at the examination is not the same when I evaluate when you are in the tournament. In tournament, it's very clear. The corner judge had the score sheet and he marked the point. That's it. Okay. So we looking how many points you can make. We compare with others and we deduct if you do some warning or foul. And by the end, the person had the highest score win. When we evaluate for the examination, my opinion is I need in this system to allow to ensure the progress. So for example, when I evaluate the yellow belt, first time, the two things for me important is, first, how is your technique? For example, you know front kick, you know turning kick, you know punch. If you do, the technique you do is not correct, for me, big problem. The second, I want that you react when the other attack you. That's it. That's it. You may have the excellent psychic, but when the other attack and you don't do move, I fail you. That's it. Okay, why? Because I want to bring you to the second floor. You cannot jump. You need to go step by step. So the next, I will ask more and more. On Saturday at evening, right? So with the instructor, maybe I can explain to you my concept, how I will do it. That's the way you make good fighter. Because you cannot ask for everything. The problem of the system is, oh, he's not too bad. So you realize he become red belt and he don't know how to do it. And you have the big problem because you always tolerate. For me, examination means I compare with the minimum standard. And the minimum standard should be very clear for you. If you don't have, that's it. You don't, that's it. You may be very good for something, but you don't have what I ask you. Because for me, it's the first step when you go to the master step. You maybe have to, but I think you will fall down. So I better that look you there. You understand? So that's very important. Instructor, you need to know how to make the progress. Exactly, we develop with the teaching of the do. We go step by step. Okay, so the free sparring important is you understand free sparring, what means free? That means we allow you a lot of adjustment. Nobody dare to say, oh, you do one and after move back to. No, you need to do by yourself with some rule. And in order to complete that, because we limited some rule, so we introduce, we call that close combat teaching technique. We can command code self-defense. But the general, he not agree with the word self-defense. I agree 100% with him. Because for general choice, every single movement in Taekwondo are self-defense. And I agree 100%. That's why I call close combat practice. Why? Because we do a lot of exercise, but in middle and long range distance. When we are close, they just stop. And what happened is a lot of self-defense aggression is your opponent's there. So you don't know to do it. So that's why we add close combats this. And we do with, the last is the breaking. Breaking is check your weapon and gain self-esteem. So that, and we go around. And inside of that, we have the do, inside the circle. When we start learning the first movement, you need to show the practitioners beginner how to bow. That's the first lesson of courtesy. You tell your student to listen, to not disturb the others. It's a courtesy too. But many people misuse the understanding of teaching of respect, try to gain power. So the military style impose is not Taekwondo. Okay? Taekwondo is a mutual respect. You respect me because I teach you something. But I have to respect to you too because you want to learn. And Taekwondo is the way, and I am the guy. So I cannot be the master alone. I need student, and the student, they tell me, sir, what you teach, I apply, and I success of this and this. And that is our relation. You understand? It's very important. Taekwondo is very deep. Taekwondo not kicking, punching. We can make one champion. Now with all the new method. In the past, we can take 10 years to make one champion. Now with the first talent, I make select talent, and some of them I can make you 6 years one champion. But make good person, maybe make alive. And that's important. That's our challenge. Okay? So this is ITF system. Now,